stainless steel rolls, pneumatic tracking, pneumatic tensioning, pneumatic control, uniform slurry distribution is critical to long belt life and uniform pressure application to the cake in the pressure zone. As you can see, the upflow-overflow weir design provides very uniform distribution. The gravity zone has a separate filter belt drive from the pressure zone. This allows independent belt speed control for both zones. In the gravity zone, suspended solids are being deposited on the filter cloth as filtrate flows through the cloth. Therefore, cake thickness is increasing down the length of the gravity zone. The increasing cake thickness causes an increased resistance to filtrate flow and slows the filtration rate. Operating at an increased belt speed spreads the slurry over more belt area. This produces a higher rate of filtration by reducing the effective cake thickness and thereby achieves a greater thickening in the gravity zone. In the pressure zone, the cake has been formed and no additional filtrate will be expelled unless squeezed out by pressure. In the subsequent pressure zone, the longer the cake is under pressure, the drier the cake. In the pressure zone, the belt speed needs to be as slow as possible to maximize the time under pressure, resulting in high discharge cake solids. Waste solids flow rates are lower for small plants, requiring less filtration area. Because the model DDP has a wide effective belt width of 0.9 meters, coupled with an independent pressure zone drive, the number of rolls in the pressure zone can be reduced to 4 and still provide adequate filtration area and time under pressure, thereby saving manufacturing costs while not lowering discharge cake solids. A key feature of the vertical arrangement of the rolls in the pressure zone is filtrate diversion pans between all rolls that keep expressed filtrate from falling onto adjacent rolls. As you can see, filtrate is diverted around adjacent rolls and falls into the bottom collection pan. With conventional horizontal arrangements, diversion pans are not possible. Therefore, filtrate runs along the filter cloth between rolls where it is reabsorbed back into the cake. This happens because when the cake is not under pressure between rolls, it typically expands like a sponge and reabsorbs any filtrate that comes in contact with it.
The pressure drive and the gravity drive are great to be able to adjust up and down to keep track of the changes in the sludge.
Plows are used to enhance filter performance by displacing deposited solids from the surface of the cloth, allowing filtrate to flow through without having the added resistance of the filter cake. Typical furrowing plows create exposed filter cloth by aligning cake into furrowed rows. The BDP plow design does not create furrows. The plow is actually submerged below the surface of the slurry. When lifted out of the slurry, the plow appears somewhat like an airplane wing. The wing floats on the surface of the filter cloth, forcing the sludge to flow over the top of the wing, exposing filter cloth on the bottom side for the full width of the belt press. The bottom of the wing has a recessed area that is supported by the leading edge of the wing. This recessed area on the bottom provides an area with no cake for filtrate to flow through the filter cloth. This is over twice the exposed filter cloth area versus a typical furrowing plow design. With most wedge zone layouts, the belt paths are straight, forming a triangle configuration when viewed from the side. If the wedge entry distance between belts is 1 inch and the operating cake thickness 3/8 inch, the belts don't converge and place pressure on the cake until 2/3 of the overall length. Therefore, 2/3 of the zone is ineffective. As you can see from this side view of the model DDP, the belt path is curved by means of a curved support deck design. Now, this forces the two belts to converge immediately, placing expressive pressure on the filter cake. As a result, the entire length of the wedge zone is effective at placing pressure on the cake, reducing cake extrusion. A perforated roll lets filtrate exit both sides of the cake. Therefore, the belt press capacity is enhanced. In other belt presses, a perforated roll is usually more expensive and therefore not provided. BDP's model DDP includes a perforated first roll. To avoid any corrosion issues from often sitting idle and in a very corrosive atmosphere, the frame is constructed of stainless steel. To keep costs down, the press is only made in one width, 0.9 meters, and is fabricated in production runs of 3 to 6 units. Bearings are a new design by Dodge, incorporating a plastic housing and stainless steel race and bearing. This eliminates all risk of corrosion. Rolls are stainless steel, including the journal, end plate, and shell.
I've had zero maintenance. All I've done is greased and changed the oil in the gearboxes, and that was just according to the owner's manual. It said to run it so many hours and drain them and refill them, and that's all I've had to do. The stainless steel construction's a plus. Again, I got to stress being able to adjust up and down with the sludge as it changes. The nature of the sludge changes has been really great. It makes it a lot easier to adjust to the conditions. Cleanup's 30 minutes at the most, and it cleans up nice, and no problem there either.
Since most plants have a compressor, the model DDP features pneumatic tracking and tensioning to help reduce capital and operating costs. As you can see, the tracking system is very rugged. The pneumatic tensioning is also rugged. Nothing in its construction is compromised. On-off and pressure regulator controls are provided for all 3 belts.
It's nice to have it close to the ground where you can operate it. I was at another plant and I checked out a different type of press. I don't know off the top of my head, I don't know what type it was. But one thing I noticed, first thing, it hadn't been maintained very well, and also it was up fairly high and it looked like it'd be difficult to get to. I like being closer to the ground and be able to get to it. So it's been nice not having to have a catwalk or anything to get to it. I've been impressed enough that I work for a water company in Park City full-time. I just have this treatment plant here part-time, but we needed a belt press at our clarifying unit in Park City, and we are going to call BDP, and we're going to have them install basically the same type of press in our treatment plant. So it's a press be enough, we're going to buy another one.